50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Muted.
Hello? Can you guys hear me? I was going on for ages with that intro. I hope you can hear me now. Please let me know in chat. I don't know what happened there. Oh, for goodness sake. Yeah, so the audio input capture device on Streamlabs completely froze. I don't know why. It showed audio coming through. What I'm going to do... I'm going to have a bit of a laugh here, guys. We're going to redo the intro. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Well, good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Flight Deck Sim live stream. Today it's the 9th of March 2025, 10 minutes past 10 in the morning. We're back in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. Welcome on board Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 in the Just Flight Fokker F28 version 2. This aircraft should be coming out next week for you. Release date is in the video description below. Massive thanks to Just Flight for sending me an early release version. Now, we flew this aircraft a couple of times before on release. Really enjoyed it. Haven't had an opportunity to fly it since, because there's been so many great aircraft available. So really happy to fly it again. We are in the Democratic Republic of Congo for this flight. Here we are in Kananga. It's a township in the middle of the country, and we're going to be flying to the capital, Kinshasa. Flights of around 1 hour. I learned Kinshasa was the 4th most populous city in the world with a population of around 18 million people. So yes, really nice to be able to fly this aircraft in the middle of Africa today. This is of course Sim Update 1 for Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. I have noticed some texture improvements, however, because of this part of the world, I think the ortho isn't great, so en route it is a bit blurry, but there seems to be some minor improvements. Looking forward to further improvements in the future. But yes, the update here, V2 of the Just Flight F28, brings Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 compatibility and a whole host of other updates too, which I'll put in the video description below. We've now got a custom-made UNS FMC, so you can take the aircraft on VATSIM and fly RNAV SIDs a little bit more accurately. They've made some modifications to the autopilot, including the ability to use a vertical speed pitch mode as well, which makes it a little bit easier to handle. I'll do my best to fly and operate this aircraft as close to the realistic as possible. One of the unique things about this is on approach, you want to keep the thrust high with speed breakout for reasons which we'll try to explain later. Anyway, yes, okay, of course you all watched the start of that stream. My apologies, Streamlabs was having a moment, but if I just edit out the front, which I won't do, I'll leave it in for lols. But yes, I hope you found that enjoyable. Anyway, who we got here in chat? We've got Simbear, looks beautiful indeed. The external model is very nice. This is the launch variant of the aircraft, and this is the Fokker F28 1000 variant, the shortest version they made. Yeah, Flyjet, I did mess up, that's true. This plane is so much better than the Indiebuilds A350. It's unique, the Indiebuilds A350, but the performance of this aircraft is incredibly FPS friendly. I'm getting 60 FPS capped here as well. Well, what are you laughing about, Skipper? Nothing at all. Domino Moosine, I hope you're doing well. Overping, hello person, Fazia Nazir. Wait a minute, is this deja vu? No, I don't know what you guys are on all about. I wish I looked at chat. I never look at chat at the start, but thank you, John Woodley, who actually donated £2 to snap me out of my ability to see that I was muted as well. Oh my god, look at you all in chat. Muted, muted, muted. Unbelievable. I don't know what happened. It's just Streamlabs being Streamlabs because it didn't show me as muted. We do have one of the Just Flight devs here as well. He'll hopefully answer some questions you have about the aircraft. Cam's pilot, that's Martin from Just Flight. I don't know how long he'll stick around for, but hopefully if you have any questions about this aircraft, feel free to ask, and check out the Just Flight Fokker F28 on their website. Again, it is releasing next week. I'm sure you're going to scrap it. Yeah, I'll probably fly jet. Remember, I don't fly this aircraft. I'm following the included tutorial, and yes, I'm a little bit slow. I've done a couple of test sectors to get up to speed, but I will do my absolute best to fly as realistically as possible. Anyway, interesting evening yesterday when I finished work. I joined Discord members and I was flipping burgers yesterday on a video game, which was hilarious. But yeah, look at the external model of the Fokker F28. When was this aircraft first flew? I don't know. I think there's still a few of these flying around in certain parts of the world as well. But yeah, really nice design. Very reminiscent of aircraft of that era. So you had the BAC 111, which was of a similar design as well. You've got these two engines at the rear, large APU, and it's no glass cockpit at all. This is complete steam gauges here as well. But yeah, great FPS at the moment, 60 FPS here in Kananga. I'll show you our routing shortly, guys, anyway. Hello, Cavox Simulation Takeoff. I don't know if you ended answering why the Max is so poor at being fully loaded in both the front and rear compartments. Usually most of the bags go towards the back. Yeah, weight and balance, sometimes you have to put some rear in the bag. It's not that it's poor, it's just the design of the aircraft as well, but that's what the dispatcher works out and plans. And we just make sure the CG is within limits. Excellent. What's the strings now? I think, is that the HF radio? The cables between the vertical stabilizer and the fuselage? Someone could correct me here as well. JPF1 Papa Hotel Mike Oscar Lima still exists. It's currently in mail in real bad shape. Oh, I guess it's been abandoned there as well. Anyway, let's jump on into the cockpit. There we are, completely cold and dark, and it is of, yeah, archaic design. It's so unique. So one of the things that you'll notice, just turn the music down here, is the thrust lever position. So I've got this all modelled up here as well. Look, you've got individual pilot thrust levers. It's so cool. It's a very mechanical aircraft, of course. And look at the speed brake lever here. It's absolutely huge. But this is not a speed brake on the wings. It does have speed brakes, but this is a lift dumper right at the rear of the aircraft. There you go. You can see it's already extended. Very, very smart. And you use this on the approach like you do in the 146, which is really cool. Yep, Cam's pilot confirmed. Yeah, you got HF on top, ADF below. So where we are located in the world, as I said, is the middle of the Democratic Republic of Congo, and this airport, there's no nav aids around here apart from an NDB. And we're going to be doing an RNAV SID. and it's just, there's no VOR en route either, there's an NDB here. Now, Cam's pilot, I'm glad he's here, because I don't know how to tune this archaic ADF receiver. I tried yesterday, it's just, I've never seen one like this. I tried tuning it, I couldn't get it to identify anything, but we'll have to go from there. What's the aircraft called? A Fokker F28, that's what it's called, yes. And whilst I'm setting up the aircraft as well, this is what I'm following in the background, if I can somehow share my PDF. There we are, so this is all the version 2 updates which we'll talk about en route on this 1 hour flight time, but I'm following this amazing manual, and Just Flight always make incredibly in-depth detailed manuals. Look at this, 262 pages, including a tutorial flight, which is what I follow whilst streaming an aircraft like this. So Just Flight always go overboard massively with these amazing manuals, so you can learn all the intricate details about all the aircraft as well. Right then, let's get some power onto the aeroplane. So it's completely cold and dark at the moment, so you can check the voltage of the batteries. You've got battery 1, 25 volts, and battery 2 the same. Just got to make sure it's a minimum of 23. They've updated the tablet as well, so we'll get some ground power connected. You have full GSX integration too, so we'll be using GSX to board the aircraft. Oh, better put my... Oh, I don't know why that's not working anymore. I don't. Maybe it's because I've got no hydraulic power, but they're stuck open at the moment. But there we are. Ground power's connected. There we are. Hey Captain, lovely morning. Is your settings in medium or high? I use high-end Peter Mulberry. Right, now we have some electrical power. We'll use the ground power to connect it to the aeroplane. So battery on. There we are. And then we'll put the external power on as well. There we are. So we have external power connected to the aircraft. Listen to all these noises, it's amazing. You've got this, obviously got the really loud GPU in the background as well. So batteries on, external power's connected. We won't start the APU just yet, but we'll check the APU fire. Look at this pedestal down here, and I love the bell sounds on this. So we've got the ready. We can start the APU when we want now. We've done the APU fire test as well. Hold down and reset once the test is complete. And we'll start the APU later. We'll put the Gen 3 switch in the off position for now, which it is. Actually, you know what is the temperature here? Problem is this airport is so remote, there's no I don't think it gives us any weather. Yeah, look, no METAR reported. It's got to be hot here. I think I might actually start the APU now. I think at our destination at least. What's the weather here? They do have METAR. It's 28 degrees there. So yeah, this aircraft would be warm, seeing it's been sat here in the sun for absolutely ages. So let's start the APU. So starting APU, we put the APU main switch to on and confirm that the Gen 3 operative light illuminates, which it does. We then move it back to off. We can now start the APU. So we can pull this to... No, what have I forgotten here? I forgot to do something. Is that main first? Oh no, then you've got to wait for the APU door to open. Yeah, you see the APU door to open. That's it. All of this is modelled. No data available, yeah, for Foxtrot Zulu Uniform Alpha. Yeah, it's doesn't have a METAR, unfortunately. So confirm the Gen 3 switch is in the off position, which it is... and the APU air is off before you attempt to start. There we are, now it's going to start. You have to wait 10 seconds. Again, I've got no hydraulics, which is why that's stuck open at the moment. Perfect. Can you get a METAR readout from Microsoft Flight Sim directly? I don't think you can if you're using live weather. I'm not sure. Perfect, so that's booting up. Sounds are superb on this. So APU is at 100%. You've got the TGT temperature of the APU as well, so we can put the APU on the bus now actually. To do that, you put the... let me just double check. Remember, I haven't flown this aircraft for a long time. Confirm the Gen 3 switch is off and move the APU panel on the overhead panel, APU main switch to on. I think that's all I need to do is leave that on, and then APU air on as well. We put one of those switches... Oh no, what have I done? Bear with me, guys. Completed this. I did this all perfectly in my text sensor. Confirm the Gen 3 switch is in the off position. Position the APU switch to off before attempting to start the APU. Moving across the air conditioning panel, move one of these switches to on, which is... And we're now ready to start the APU. Move the APU to start. Confirm the Gen 3 inoperative light is extinguished. Put that on. Why is that still on? Oh, I don't know what I've done. Sorry about this, guys. I think we're okay, though. There's an OAT gauge somewhere in that cockpit. We'll have to find it. Now, why am I not getting conditioned air into the cabin? AP bleed air is on, but the AP is running. And that's on as well. But usually it starts going... AP is shut down. Oh, that might be why. Right, let me just do this again. I'm so sorry. And I pride myself on testing all this before I do it, and I had no issues on my test sector. So complete the test, move up the APU panel, and select the APU main switch to on. I think it's because I turned that off. Moving to the APU panel, set the APU main switch to on and confirm the Gen 3 inoperative light is illuminated. Yes, it is. Confirm the Gen 3 switch is in the off reset position. Yes. And the APU air switch is off. Off. Okay, move across the air conditioning panel, set one of the switches to main, which I have done, or on. We're now ready to start the APU. Now you see it, now you don't. It always runs well on test sectors, it does. Yeah, so that's, you know, I think I just skipped ahead in the manual slightly, but we'll just restart the APU. We'll blame it on Jim. I think the tutorial has you running the APU from the start, you see. So when the APU RPM is above 95%, set the Gen 3 switch to on. Okay, it's above 95%. Gen 3 switch to on. Okay, that's what I didn't do before. Okay, confirm the Gen 3 and upright is extinguished and all buses are energized on the electrical power panel. We can confirm that all voltage and frequency in the correct operating position by rotating the switch. Yep, everything has power. And then the APU air can now come on. Oh yeah! I did a thing, guys. I did a thing. Now we have lovely, cool, conditioned air coming into the cabin without me shutting off the APU. Brilliant. Right, let's just turn down the cockpit temperatures and the cabin temperatures. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Turn on the radio master switches. That's complete. And now we can start boarding. Now we've got some lovely, cool air in the cabin. So GSX. We should be fully synced with SimBrief. Request boarding. Oh, yes. I forgot. Just flight boarding music. Can you hear that? Oh yeah. It's like the samba. Thankfully, you can turn it up and turn it down. I like to turn it off because it's a bit of a distraction. God, I didn't realise... We won't be using a pushback today. I didn't realise how sort of... people's heads. How vertical the overhead panel is. It's not flat at all. It's almost sat at 45 degrees. So bags are being uploaded, and we've got a passenger bus coming in off the grass to load our passengers as well. A sing-along, absolutely, Steve M. Right, this is taking a long time to set up. So EFB is on, external power, we'll leave it connected. Confirm the transformer rectifier units are on. That'll be converting AC into DC power. I'm just going to turn the sounds down slightly. Why Microsoft Flight Simulator has so many apps open on volume mix? I've got 4 Microsoft Flight Simulators here to control the volume with. Anyway, I've just turned that down slightly. So we check the TRUs, confirm the battery mechanical indicator is showing off for the external power. So we can turn that off now, and the APU's taken the load. Emergency exit lights we can arm. And the caution light is extinguished. Starter master switches are in the off position, and the bleed air supply set both high pressure switches to the auto position. So bleed air supply here, they're already in the auto position. Set the authority to stew. It doesn't cook stew for you, it just makes the steward in the cabin have the ability to control the temperature. On the aerofoil anti-icing panel, set both main switches to off reset, which is here, so off reset, and the engine anti-ice panel, set both selector switches to off. So these are both in the off position. The good news is, when you put this to auto, it automatically has engine anti-icing. It recognises you're in icing conditions and sends bleed air to the engine cowling, which is pretty cool. Do the ice detection test. So test that, it's a self-test, the light goes on as normal, and we'll put the seatbelt and no smoking sign on. In fact, before we do that, we'll just get some fuel onto the aeroplane. So if we have a look here, we'll take standard flight plan fuel. Let's have a look here. So hide flights, view sim brief OFP. So we need 4.7 tons of fuel. Now I did try on my test sector using GSX, it didn't work for some reason. I might try one more time. So if I go request refueling, I think it should come up with a prompt later. Remind me if it doesn't work, and we'll have to do it manually, to load the SimBrief block fuel, but I did it on my test sector, it didn't work. Otherwise we can still load it manually, but you can see the passengers increasing at least from GSX. So, cabin crew get to decide the cabin temperature. How more advanced aeroplane than 7.3? Yeah, absolutely. I could do, that is correct. Right, so we've requested fuel with GSX. Seatbelt and no smoking sign is on. On the glare shield, ensure that all three fire control guards are closed and the fuel shut-off valve indicators show open. Now, I don't know why these aren't illuminating for me. I don't know if it's a bug, but these should be on at the moment, these open lights. I can't get them to illuminate, or it's most likely I forgot something, but yeah, they're all off and these are all guarded anyway for the APU and engine fire switches. Do the EGPWS test.
Light slope. Pull up.
Perfect. And then the captain can test his annunciator panel, so push that. Make sure all the lights extinguish, which they have. And I've lost my position in my checklist, bear with me. God, this manual is so large. Alright, where did I get to? Yes, we've done those tests. Next we move to nose wheel steering. Confirm the nose wheel steering is on, which it is here. That's on as well. Test the anti-skid system. Perfect, make sure the skid control lights illuminate for both outboard and inboard of the main wheels. Flight controls, verify the pump switches are in the normal position. The pump lights should be illuminated, that is normal. On the fuel panel, confirm 2 fuel pressure lights are illuminated, they are. You have these collector tanks as well, where the fuel goes before they go into the engine. Make sure they're black, which they are, and they're not hatched. We have a TVI test, I think that's for the engine vibration, so you can see the vibration amplitude gauge increase when we do that test as well. And we can now check the fuel quantity of the aircraft. So where is that refueler? I think it waits for boarding. Yeah, refueling service requested. Right, we'll just have to wait till boarding is complete before the fuel truck comes. But we currently have insufficient fuel. Now, one of the updates they've done is give you the ability to have kilos as gauges as well, as opposed to just pounds, which is a great addition, I feel. Sorry to my American friends, but yes, that's what they've changed there. I hope you're doing well, Daniel Fogelberg. Thank you very much for tuning in. Good morning, Pilot Lassie as well. So fuel quantity we'll have to do later. Make sure the TTC switches are set to takeoff. They're located below the thrust levers, so they're in the takeoff position. We'll move those to climb after departure. We briefly turn on the fuel pumps. We've got no fuel in the centre tank. Make sure the lights extinguish, and then we turn them back off again. Set the radios. So we'll power up the UNS. This is one of the main or big featured updates with this. So you've got the ability to now navigate laterally using RNAV waypoints and fly RNAV approaches, albeit you have to control the vertical path in a pitch mode like vertical speed. Expired? It wasn't on my test sector. 22nd of February 24. Oh, what's happened there? That's really strange. I flew this aircraft yesterday, this version, and it was up to date. Now it's expired. Fantastic. I forgot to update it perhaps via the Just Flight BAE 146 update, but you can update this easy enough via Navigraph. Thankfully we're offline, and hopefully there's been no changes to the waypoint names in the last 11 months. Anyway, the UNS FMC will load in a second. We're offline, so you've got the VHF1 frequencies. Now, this is Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 doing its thing. Notice they're a bit blurry. When you zoom in a bit closer, they become less blurry. Well, they're a bit blurry still, but the texture improved, I noticed yesterday when I looked away and came back. Again, remember, everything is streamed from the cloud. There you go. See how the texture's improved since I looked away and came back again? That's not the fault of Just Flight. That's just Microsoft Flight Sim streaming everything in from the cloud. So we'll just set Unicom 122.8. You see, it's just gone blurry right before our eyes. Yes, Navigraph Hub. That's it, Steve M. You can update it via that. So what you have to do, you can sync your flight plan in from SimBrief by downloading the BAE 146 file. It's the same one. You put it in a folder in your community folder, All the information's in the manual below, and then you can load in your flight plan. So you go to, I think it's menu, is it load? No, not load. Copy flight plan route. There we are. So I've got my routing in. There we are. Boarding's complete. Doors are shut automatically. Select route. Enter. And there we are. The lateral routing is in. Oh, good. Refueling truck's on this way. All you have to do then. Sure, GSX. So all you have to do is put the SIDS and star in. Okay, but it puts all the lateral routing in for you. So let me just grab the flight plan. We're flying off runway 29 at DCUC1 Bravo. So you can go here to menu, depart. It's runway 29, so you select number 2, enter, and then 1, enter, flight plan. There we are, so it's in, just goes via ECMIS basically.
Fuel truck is in position.
Perfect, there it is, so hopefully it should prompt...
Please don't load aircraft until the fuel truck arrives and ask...
Yes, GSX, of course. I would never disobey you. We'll then go to, again, flight plan. No, menu, arrive. It's going to be an MPET-1 Alpha off runway 24, so 2. MPET-1 Alpha is 6. Expecting ILS X-ray for runway 24, 6. And then we've got the transition as well, which is going to be via Uriso, 3. Enter. So again, check your flight plan, check for any discontinuities. Remember, there's no way of checking on an ND or screen the lateral routing. This is the only way of checking. So you've got it all in here. Go to the next page. There's no discontinuities. Goes all the way to runway 24. Great. Now, why has he not prompted me for fuel yet? Fuel truck is in position. So how do I now uplift the fuel? Yesterday it gave me a prompt. Do I now do it through this? I think I might have to select what fuel I need here. Anyway, let's just check the flight plan. We'll do it this way then manually. 47 to 48. Let's call it 2.4 tons aside. Yeah. Yesterday, Steve, GSX opened and let me select how much fuel I wanted. We'll have to do it manually then. 2342 aside is fine. Oops. That's fine. Start refueling. I'm guessing that's refueling. I think it's done it instantaneously. Well, they've just check the tanks. Yeah, we've definitely got the fuel on board. Look, 2342 aside. And I think now I've broken it. Because yesterday GSX came up, given the prompt, do you want to take standard block fuel? Yes, please. Anyway, look, we've got the fuel on board. That's the main thing. If I have to restart GSX, so be it. Right, fuel is uplifted. Let's carry on with the checklist. We've tuned the radios, transponder. We're offline, but we'll set 2000 standby. Set the weather radar to standby. Put the range to 50 miles. Tilt to +5. Select and ensure the autopilot switches are in the off position, autopilot and yaw dampers off, and the roll and pitch is selected to in. Check that the hydraulic flight controls are all on the on position. So we have a gust lock on this, so all the flight controls are locked until you move that position off. You've got some other backup switches, a lift dumper lock and the alternate landing gear extension. Make sure they're all in the correct position, and then the first officer would do some individual checks here, such as testing his annunciator panel, setting his lights, checking the oxygen, and there's a flight data recorder to set the date with there as well. So we're ready pretty much for engine start. I just need to boost the pumps, boost the accumulator hydraulic pressure. So we use the System 1 electric pump. So turn this on, you can see, look, it recharges the accumulator pressure for hydraulics. And I should now be able to stow, yeah, there we are, now I have hydraulic pressure to stow the lift dumper. And then we can turn that off and you can see, look, it's maintaining pressure now. Verify the parking brake is set. Look at this, it's like a Cessna's parking brake, just a cable straight to the main wheel brakes. Love it. Cruising at 30,000 feet today, so you set the cabin altitude to 1,000 feet above that. 31,000 feet. So the cabin altitude should be about 6,100 feet, and then you set the QNH at your destination. How you set it, I have absolutely no idea. I think we'll just set it to around 1013. There we are. Set the heading and courses. So heading 288 and the RMI set to 288. However, look, we'll set it to GPS. And there we are, we've got the RNAV distance to the first waypoint, 4.1 miles away. Cams pilot, with the EFB refuel menu speed set to realistic rather than instant, you'll get progressive refueling from GSX. There you go, Cams pilot. That's completely my fault, guys. So set that to realistic for GSX integration, but that's good to know. Refueling is complete. We can actually take off the ground power, remove the chocks. Charts, I should have synced up before the stream, but the SID will select. Oh, no FP loaded, hold on. So continue, that's synced to my OFP flight plan. Charts, departure. Well, I'll show you the taxi in a second, it's very short, and there we are. It's basically a straight line, look, to decook via ECMIS, that's the RNAV. So climbing, to 4,000 feet, so it's a very low stop altitude. Wow, it's only... We'll level off at 4,000 feet then, and then we'll imagine we've got further climb later. So let's set that to 4,000. We'll level off there, accelerate to 250 knots, and then we can comply with the SID. So it's going to be a very quick climb as well. So we've done the heading and courses. Nav aids, there's none. We've set this as well. Takeoff performance. You just click what you want. So we'll use flap 11 for departure. So if I press the flap 11, watch the bug speeds on the airspeed indicator. There you go, it sets them all automatically for you. You've got V1, rotate, and then your 2-engine climb speed all preset as well. So we'll probably fly V2 plus 10 knots. QNH is set, I press B, so it has set it to 1013. We can now move the gust lock to the off position. We're now ready for engine start. So what I'll do is just put the nav lights on. But where in the checklist does it talk about setting the bugs for thrust? I forgot to do that. So on here there's no auto throttle, so just slave this here. No auto throttle on this aircraft, okay, so you have to set these bugs manually, and there's a table you can use with the Just Flights manual, which I'll just find now because I think I might have accidentally skipped it. Yeah, I have. So if I bring up the manual, you'll see here, look, if I just move this to the side, we're now going to set our thrust index for departure. We'll be performing a full power takeoff with no derate. So we'll set our thrust index directly from the thrust index charts. Based on the current temperature and altitude, we'll use the thrust index of 117. So if I press this, the elevation here is 2,000 feet. 2,000 feet. The temperature... Where's the OAT gauge on this aeroplane? Oh, it's over here. Oh, wow, it is hot, look. 20... We'll call it 30 degrees conservatively. So, 30 degrees... at 2,000 feet elevation, our thrust index is 132. Okay, now cams pilot, correct me if I'm wrong, we now set 132 here, which is pretty much set to already, 132. When I set 100% on here, that gives me the correct thrust. We just set it to 100% based off this thrust index, and that's what you use for departure. You set your thrust index, just set this to 100% each time on the brakes, and that's the correct thrust you'll have for departure. But it's such an old school aeroplane, very mechanical, so much to think about when you're setting this aeroplane up. Right, I think we're ready for engine start. The taxi, guys, is as follows. There's the hold point and takeoff off runway 29. Perfect, thanks Captain Pilot for your clarification. So, ready for engine start. So, let me find my checklist. Engine start, put the anti-collision lights on. All the external light switches are here. What have we got? Top and bottom. Confirm the thrust levers are in the idle position, which they are. They are idle. Set all fuel boost pumps to on. 1, 2, no fuel in the centre tank, so 3, 4. And moved up to the engine selection overhead panel, set the master switch to on for engine start. And then use the start select to select number 2. Here we go. Oh yeah. It's very Airbus-like. Look, it's automatically closing bleed valves. Sounds like an engine starting. Oh, sounds very 1960s, doesn't it? Perfect. So we're looking for an HP of 20%. 20% fuel coming on. Make sure you check you have all the pressure increasing. Look, make sure you've got oil pressure. You get this blinking light as well. So oil pressure's increasing. Monitoring the TGT. Make sure it doesn't get into the maximum TGT as well. This would be loud, this jet as well. Steam, no chance getting lost today to the runway. Brilliant. With the little beacon lights as well. I have to say, Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 is looking really resplendent. Look at these trees. Super. Right, the blinking lights extinguished. Starting engine number 1. Perfect. So you're monitoring the HP. Oil pressure's increasing. This is oil temperature. You'll see that slowly increase as the engine runs. And this is fuel temperature as well. It's such an archaic design. Love it. Right, 20% fuel on. Bet Boris could do a number on the sounds for this plane. Brilliant. Any food poisoning from burger flipping last night? No, Greg Scott. That was very interesting. What do you think, guys? Awesome add-on. Well, you're out to watch me have no clue on what to do flying it. Awesome. Isaac Aviation Clips, how much will this cost? So, before release, I think the current price is about £52, £53. However, there is a release promotion of 28% off. Or, if you already own the aircraft, you can get the update for completely free. There we are. So, start valve open light has extinguished. Verify the 2 blinking lights have stopped here. They have. Put the start master switch to off. Take my time with this now. On electrical power panel, confirm all generator lights are extinguished before setting Gen 3 switch to off. Off. Make sure that light illuminates. Set the APU air switch to off. Off. Make sure the APU air switch air PSI drops by 5. Missed that. Set both air conditioning switches to on. On. Use the AC and DC rotary selectors to confirm voltage and frequencies. DC power is good. Gen 3 is off. Gen 1, 115 Hertz. Or volt, 400 Hertz. 110, 115 volts. That's all good. We can shut off the APU. So just turn that switch off. We're not expecting engine anti-ice after departure, so we can leave the engine anti-ice switches to the auto position. So what this will do is if we fly into cloud, it automatically turns on or detects ice, or when it detects ice, turns the engine anti-ice on. So even more modern than the 7.3. Turn on the pitot and vane heating. On the hydraulic panel, verify we have hydraulic pressure. So we've got sufficient quantity, and we've got 3000 psi. Electric hydraulic pumps are off. Flight control switches are all extinguished. Oh, I think that was one of the lift dumpers. What have I done here? What have I done? I don't know what that does. There's no reversers on this aeroplane, but I don't like how that lever's... Oh, it's only on the captain's side. I don't know what that does. Flaps to 11. You can see them extending. Fuel levers are to start until the engine stabilises, then advancing to fully forward allows the engine to supply hydraulic and electrical power. Ah! Am I then meant to put these up forward again? Thank you! I ran my test sectors cams pilot with those in the start position. This is why it's invaluable having a dev here. Amazing. I didn't remember that. So now, right. I got from A to B, cams pilot with those in the start position on my test sectors. Great. I missed that. Thank you very much. Flaps to 11. That's the lift dumper for the captain's side. Great. We're now ready for taxi. So we'll turn on the taxi light, which is here. And then let's extend, put those lights on too. Perfect. I love it. Just drops out under the fuselage. Right, are we ready for taxi? I think you're happy with the routing, guys. So we'll release the parking brake. And then we'll just add a little bit of thrust. A little bit of right on the tiller. And just thrust on the outside engine. If you go too fast, the nose wheel does skid. Airplane taxis beautifully. Isaac, the passenger model, passenger cabin modelling is really nice. Really, really nice. We'll have a little cabin tour en route. You need to arm the. You need to press the arm just below the speed brake to arm the lift dumpers. Yes, I think that's on the checklist. There's a little button here. Well, I'll do it now. Look, just to so I don't forget. There we go. The performance is amazing. I'm capped at 60 FPS, guys. Hope it's looking good for you. Just show you this. I love this. If you put too much nose wheel in, look, and you get the skid marks. There you go. Look at that, and they stay there. Amazing. I can't wait till Just Flight's releases their Fokker as well. Fokker F28 in the Democratic Republic of Congo, guys. Amazing. Right, let's bring it to a hold there. I've got a warning there. I think that might be the instrument comparator. Right, we'll hold her there. Parking brake is set. So let's get the flight directors ready for departure. So we'll put the initially to heading, and we'll set the pitch to around 10 degrees. That's set. Verify the collector tanks are showing black, which they are. Excellent. And we've already shut off the APU. Lift dumpers are armed. We can put the yaw damping on, and then we're ready for departure. So it's going to be climbing runway heading. Actually, you know what? I don't want. Well, no, I'll leave heading select initially, and then we'll switch to nav later. So it'll be basically runway heading to 4,000 feet to level off. That is incredibly close. We're already at 2,300, so we're only going to level off at 1,700 feet above the ground here. Set the transponder to on 2000. Landing lights are extended. Inform the cabin crew of the departure.
Cabin crew, please take your seats for takeoff.
Perfect. And then we'll enter the runway once we've got the cabin secure message. Ronald M, don't forget to arm out capture. Okay, yeah, I'll put that there.
Cabin is secured for departure.
And no, because the autopilot's off, I guess that won't work, so we'll put the alert on at least. Right, cabin ready for departure. Let's release the parking brake, enter the runway. Do a little backtrack. Where's all the animals? There was animals on my test sector. Fauna. T, why did you want to fly in the Congo? I've looked on the flight deck sim route map. We've never flown in the Democratic Republic of Congo. I thought, why not? Perfect. Hi Felix, hope you're doing well, buddy. As some of you may notice, I'm using a secondary account. I did a mistake and got your main one deleted on YouTube, making you lose subscriptions and memberships. What do I do now? Is that the one that when it got hacked, Felix? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Sorry to hear about that. Amazing. There's a random van there. I think that we've got more than a long enough runway here, so we won't backtrack all the way. Just bring it slow right down. So I'm using, again, split thrust to help me around the corner. This is what we're doing the 7.3. Might have to do something else with tail-mounted engines, I'm not sure. Turns really nicely. Taxiing's really good. Beautiful. Look at the tiller turn as well, I love that. Looks like something off a German U-boat. Let's get myself a little bit better lined up. Alrighty, so as a reminder, departure is climb runway heading. Just set my heading bug here. That way the flight director's roll bar is going to be correct. It's going to climb runway heading to 4,000 feet. Okay, so we're going to level off, accelerate to 250 knots and clean up. Alright, and then we'll go and do something a bit different, and then we'll level off, get the automation in, and then we'll carry on. So Toga's in chat. Clock, yes, there really isn't one, there's a stopwatch, but we'll make a note of the time, 10:50 Zulu, and I'll start the stopwatch. Let's go to the capital of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Kinshasa. Right. Oh, hold on, this is a bit tricky now because I'm going to hold it on the brakes with one hand, set 100%.
Power set.
Power set, ready? 3, 2, 1, brakes released, off we go. Forgot to set the trim, but never mind. So set to 100%. Airspeed's alive.
80 knots.
Checked. Releasing forward pressure. Look at these trees.
Rotate.
Up we go. I didn't hear V1, but we'll go up. You maintain runway center line. I tell you what, there's definitely changes in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 and handling. Feels nice. Gears up. Get ready to level off already. Just maintain around 160. Actually, still accelerating. We've got so much power. Flaps going up. Thanks, just flight. Get ready to level off. So 4,000 feet stop altitude. Start slowly bringing down the nose. We'll leave the thrust where it is. And we'll accelerate to 250 knots. There we are. 4,000 feet. We've leveled off. Oh, flies really nicely. Accelerate to 250 knots. Can put the flaps up, yes. Trim nose down.
Net climb power.
I'm going to reduce anyway. I'll bug 250 knots. It's really important to keep your bug speed up because then you've got a little fast slow indication here. There you go, so watch this little white needle essentially. There we are, 250 knots. Beautiful. Alright, I'm just getting the aircraft in trim. Try and do a little external view. Still trimming nose down as we speak. Right, let's try and get this automation in, which I had problems with yesterday, but that's because of my setup. So autopilot in. It's working. And we're in pitch hold. That's fine, because we're going to slowly start climbing. So, we'll climb now to our cruise. Oh yeah, I want beam. That way it's going to follow the GPS routing. Ah, it's just... Look at that, guys. Beautiful. Excellent. So, let's now climb up to flight level 300. So, we'll set 300 here. It's on pitch hold, so it's actually not holding the altitude. And then we'll press IS hold. Start adding some thrust, and the aircraft's going to maintain pitch for 250 knots. Set the TTC to climb. And I'll slowly add power to around 100%. Just keep the TGT, I think it's below 470. Actually, I'll just take a little less power off. And up we go. Set standard, which is already set 1013. Up we go. After takeoff checklist. It's beautiful. Felix, you've joined as a member. Welcome aboard, buddy. I hope you're doing well. Glad you enjoyed the content. And you get into our members of Discord now. And Felix, of course, the developer of the amazing 747-200. Cheers, buddy. It's a pocket rocket, absolutely. So, confirm the landing gear is up. Flaps are up. Engine anti-ice is in the auto position. You can disarm the lift spoilers, which I think it does automatically, and check the pressurization. So we've got the cabin rate of climb at about 300 feet per minute. This is opposite to the 7.3. I found this really confusing. So the cabin altitude is the big needle. On a 7.3 it's the diff pressure. So that's at 3,000 feet, but the diff is the little needle increasing, so opposite to what I'm used to. Beautiful. Alex, thank you. 35 months, 1 month left for 3 years. Thank you very much, my Dutch friend, for your continued support for this entire period of time. I hope you're doing very well. Is that, who's that off South Park on your logo? I've never realised. Thank you very much, buddy. So yeah, if we go outside, unfortunately the textures are very blurry still in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. Even with Sim Update 1, let's hope they improve. But again, I've been reliably informed that parts of Africa has very poor ortho anyway, so smart. Yeah, you can sort of see the trees loading in. Yeah, how do you get the trees to load in sooner? You can sort of see them load in. I don't like that. There you go. As we go a little bit further west, you'll see them load in. Beautiful. Anyway, this aeroplane is amazing. So what's my target thrust in the climb as well? During climb, continue to make small adjustments to the throttle as necessary to maintain engine parameters within limits. I think I can get a bit more thrust out of them then. I think 470 degrees I heard quoted. Don't go above 470. Anyway, first RNAV waypoint flown over. Next one. prog. Nav. There we are. So we're now being bound to Tarok. We've just flown the Decup 1 Bravo. That's the first waypoint there in 6 minutes at 11:01 Zulu. Right, now we've just passed 11,000 feet. We can actually accelerate to the Econ climb speed. Where's my notepad? Econ climb speed is 270 knots. So we'll bug 270. Now the aircraft's pitching for the existing speed. So what I can do is briefly go to vertical speed. What are we climbing at? 2,000 feet. So if I set 1,000 feet, press vertical speed, the aircraft nose is now going to lower to set 1,000 feet per minute. Once we're there, we can go back to indicated airspeed hold to climb at 270. So guys, LOD is so poor. So this is an issue not with my settings. This is just Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. Someone said the textures are better than X-Plane. No, that's awful. How could you say that? But this is not my fault. This is nothing in my settings. This QB. There you go. Look, trees appearing right before our eyes. It's a good job we fired most of the IFR. Beautiful day here in the Democratic Republic of Congo, though. Best do the pre-cruise checks as well. Oh, I forgot to put. Don't forget to put auto on, otherwise the aircraft won't level off. Oh, and make sure you monitor your speed, because I've gone way past the target speed. Right, we'll just hold 290 knots. There we are. We'll check our routing. Look. So we're in Tarok. You can do shortcuts in this FMC. Remember, there is VNAV sort of prompts, but there is no VNAV pitch mode. You have to use a level change or VS to monitor the vertical path. Marcus, Africa in Flight Sim 2020 does look way better than this. Yeah, I've not done much flying in it. So we're not using any nav aids, but don't forget to switch this to DME, otherwise you get no DME information. What we'll do, tune the first VOR en route, which is basically over the airfield at Kinshasa 115.0. That's set. Yeah, this aircraft is going to be a challenge to take on VATSIM, not only for the workload, but the radio. You have to set it down here, so it's a bit archaic to look down. For some reason, I don't know if any of you have the Logitech radio tuning panel. If anyone can find a way to install it in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, that'd be greatly appreciated. David, hope you're doing well, buddy. If you have time at the end, try the 10-minute flight between Kinshasa and Brazzaville. It's a 7-3 route between Congo and Democratic Republic of Congo because there are no bridges across the Congo River. No way. Well, look at that maybe on another day. Chipper, I think it's due to VRAM. I also have a 10GB 3080 and similar issue. However, V1 has a 24GB VRAM and his LOD is much better. Interesting. Set mode selected to Vorlock. Yes, you're quite right. The flight director is currently commanding heading select. And I suppose I can match the pitch to our current climb rate. There we go. I think that just tells we're currently routing direct to a waypoint. Yeah, I've brought the speed back a little bit too high, so what I'm going to do is go back to vertical speed. I'm actually going to increase that so the speed gets back to 270 knots, and then we'll go back to IS hold. Again, just keep an eye on the thrust. Slight split actually. So add a little bit of thrust on engine number 2. There we are. I'm trying to find the reference regarding what thrust you want in the climb. I'll leave at about 470, no higher than 500. So speed slowly getting back to 270 knots. So we can monitor this little white needle. When that white needle is bang on the circle, we're doing 270 knots, and then we can go back to IS hold again. Just increase the vertical speed. $43 miles to the next RNAV waypoint as well. That would be louder. I mean, up here in the cruise, it's all right as long as you don't zoom in far. There we are, almost on target speed. That'll do. Back to IS hold. There we are, and the aircraft's now going to pitch to maintain 270 knots. It does look very blue. Is that the cockpit lighting? Maybe, because there's no sun coming in. Beautiful, very, very old school cockpit. Oops, forgot to do the pre-cruise checks. Flare light. Look at the look at the trim wheel. It's like they got these parts out of a World War II parts bin. Beautiful. Again, obviously the performance is not as good as a commercial jet airliner today, and also the fuel burn is awful. Have a look at this. But bear in mind the size of this aircraft, we've only got how many passengers? 65 passengers. That's fully loaded. We're burning just under 2 tons an hour. It's almost what the Max burns. Max is about 2.1. It's amazing how technology has improved in the last 50 years. And that can take us 3 times as many passengers, and it has slightly more fuel burn. Steve, quote, on a standard climb, the Fokker should have the climb thrust set to 96.5 N2. Speed to climb around 250 knots. Ah. Okay, yes, my engines are running hot. Let's just reduce that to an N2. Where is my N2 gauge? Yeah, that's a bit too low. I'll leave it to 100%. You can see though, the thrust is very low, and I'll any less than that, I'm going to level off. So you've got HP and then percent RPM. Let me have a little browse of the manual. So 250 knots below 10,000 feet. IS hold. Arm the level. Doesn't really mention. Aren't they? I know it's 0.7 for the cruise, look. Engines are fine. Good point there, Ivan. Despite its age, it's very Airbus-like in systems automation. Yeah, with the air conditioning system especially. Ah, Cam, so TTC switches at climb position should keep you within limits. So we've got them set to climb. When you say within limits, even if what happens if I firewall the thrust levers? Because right now I've not got climb thrust. I'm sort of limiting the high pressure turbine, I guess, to 100%. But you probably can go above 100 during the climb. Not sure. That's really interesting, Steve, because that's very different to the guidance I've read before. Initial climb to 5,000 feet, 165. Very interesting aeroplane. So welcome on board, guys. If you've just tuned in, we are en route domestic sector within the Democratic Republic of Congo. We've just left the township of Kananga. Here we are in the world, right in the middle of Africa. Live time, live weather, westbound to the capital Kinshasa. Now this, if I select to world map, is a huge, huge city. Population is 18 million. 4th most populous city in the world. And if you asked me a week ago what's the capital of Democratic Republic of Congo, I would not have known. 4th most populous city in the world. 18 million people live here. Cam's Violet, don't forget the all-important animated ashtrays. Brilliant. Where are they? Oh yes. Light up, guys. Love it. Where's Jim's ashtray? Amazing. Your ashtrays are now animated, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have a look at some of the updates you're getting with the V2 anyway when we get established in the cruise. And Cam's Pilot, thanks for your email regarding cruise thrust settings. So, I didn't make a note of it. So we set... I didn't make a note of it. I thought I had. Yes, 90% and small changes. Maintain about Mach 0.7. Oh, the performance is splendid. 60, I'm capped at 60. Beautiful. So smooth. Having stored those are the telltales of a properly simulated plane, absolutely. And a nice chatting with you, I think, for the first time yesterday, as we were flipping burgers. What's that game called? That was quite fun, actually. I have got work today as well, but that's why I'm doing a stream quite early. Unusual on a Sunday morning, but great to see so many people have tuned in, especially in the UK. It's a beautiful morning. Probably far better for you to be outside and doing having a nice walk. But yeah, next stream we'll look at this again next week. Or we'll look at a VATSIM event, take it online, and you guys can watch me suffer. Yeah, I could do it one day next week, Donna O'Cena. I'm on standby tomorrow, but I've got quite a few little house jobs to do. My mum's coming up to see us this week, so I'm going to get the house looking tidy, spick and span. Simba, what's outside? I don't know this thing. What, this aircraft? This is the Fokker F28, if that's what you're related to. But one thing I love about this update is this UNS FMC, which is custom built by Just Fly. Just gives you a little bit more versatility, especially if you want to fly online. And you know, here in Democratic Republic of Congo, they've got quite a lot of conventional approaches still, so you could probably get away without using a UNS. But this gives you the ability to now fly in, you know, RNAV, SIDS and stars quite accurately on VATSIM. You just have to be very wary of your vertical profile. Now, it doesn't have VNAV as an autopilot mode, but you have the ability to generate a top descent points with the UNS. I don't know if it will give you any guidance if you're high or low, but it will give you a target vertical speed based on your next restriction. So Ivan, yes, you can fly RNAV approaches to LNAV minima in this aircraft. So if I was to select here, I don't know if there's any RNAV approaches, there is. So if we have a look at RMP24, you can fly this, but you must fly to LNAV minima only because you don't have a VNAV vertical pitch mode or coupled with the autopilot. So you can use this with a pitch mode like vertical speed or pitch hold and fly the vertical profile that way. So we'll do that on our next flight. I'll fly an RLS today, but yeah, you can fly RNAV approaches, no problem. Stephen, morning all, just tuning in. What's the verdict on 2024? Well, I'm getting amazing performance. I'm still looking at very blurry textures, probably partly due to the fact that there's poor coverage of Africa, I've been told, but let's see how the approach looks, although it's a bit misty at our destination. But yeah, looking forward to the improvements. Having saw, great question, not sure. Seeing that your GPS based and there's no inertial data, you won't need to do DME updating. Camps Pilot, it's both suggests TOD point and gives the real-time VS requirement. Amazing, and that's so useful. So we'll monitor the level off. We're already at Mach 0.7, our sort of desired cruise speed, a little bit above it. Do some fuel and time checks. Current active waypoint, sorry about that, is Linud in 2 minutes. Now on the flight plan page you don't get a countdown of a distance, this is just the planned distance between them. But on the nav page you do get... Oh no, no, that's not counting down either. I don't think there's any page on the UNS which shows you the distance between you and the next waypoint. You've got your time, which is good. There's VNAV. No, I don't think you do. So we're inbound to Linud, 33.9. I'm going next page. You can see, yeah, 33.9. So that's just the fixed distance between the two waypoints. There we are, levelling off at flight level 300. So start reducing the thrust, as discussed, about 90%. Oh, Cam's Pilot, was that on the HP or? Oh no, about the same anyway. And then we'll just make very small changes from there to maintain Mach 0.7. So again, we can set this to 0.7 here and monitor the speed. But there's no auto throttle, so keep an eye on it. Sorry, I keep going up and down, guys. Amazing. HP campsite, thanks. I'll make a note. So those of you who are new to my streams, I have a notepad of all the different aircraft I fly. This is my Just Flight Fokker F28 notepad, so every time I fly the aircraft I can jump into it. Some aircraft have not flown for a very long time. Look, the Leonardo Software House MD82, ATR, Rotate MD11. It's just little pointers for me, because obviously you need multiple type ratings. I cannot fly the aircraft as well as a type rated pilot, of course, on the particular aircraft, but it gives me some good pointers. Max Beckett, of course. Of course. There you go. You've got on the HSI, you've got on the top left the waypoint based distance. I can put the flight director on altitude hold now as well. There we are. So flight director is commanding altitude hold and the RNAV waypoint. It's probably a smidge more thrust because we've just dropped below 0.7, so let's set about 90, a bit above 91%. There we are, just a bit. We've got our instantaneous fuel flow, about just over a tonne an hour per engine. And we'll do a fuel check at 93 miles at our next waypoint, which, thanks to Navigaph, is telling me is Kilo Kilo Whiskey NDB. Fearless Leopard show the 742. Oh, yeah, I do have the 742 in here somewhere. There we are. Although, because I fly aircraft quite a bit, I don't have as much reference. There you go. Fearless 742. All my notes. Airbus one, I don't need it. You just turn on the power. I did have it. It just said turn on power, extend tray table, retract table, turn off power. Great. So what we can do now, I don't know what a good target vertical speed is for the Fokker. I put on my test sector 2,500. Enter. And there you go. We've got from present position. Basically, if I descended at 650 feet per minute, I'd make my first waypoint to be Uriso at or above 5,000. But based off me wanting to do a target 2,500 feet, top of descent's 278. 204 nautical miles away. So you can do a little bit of time distance calculations. So top of descent 200. If I go to, we'll call it 200 miles. Is it flight plan? No. Where is? What am I looking for? Where do you find ground speed? I know it's on one of these. There you are, ground speed 442. So we've got 200 miles, 442 knots, and that's going to be about 27 minutes till top of descent. 27 minutes. So what's that? Quarter past now. We'll call it just before 1:45. Itch and Scratch It, thanks buddy. 63 months as a member of the channel. Really appreciate it, buddy. Thanks for your support. It says good morning to you, so I hope you're doing well. And loving your profile picture, which is, I don't know what. Oh, it's a dog! Is that a Border Terrier? Beautiful. Thanks, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Only a mere 5 years, remember. Crikey. Right, well, let's show you some of the updates which you're getting with the Just Fokker 100. We just turned Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 down slightly. It's a little bit loud. There we are. This is the manual I've been following throughout, but here we are. This is the V2 update. So, an extensive list. I'm not going to read every single fix here. Oh, look at the speed. Nicely pegged at 0.7 there. Good job. So, free of charge to all existing owners of the Fokker F28. It's coming out on the 13th of March as well. There is a promotion ongoing. So, if you don't have the aircraft, 28% off when it's launched for a brief period of time. So, do consider that if you want the discount. So, these are the new features. Brand new UNS coded FMS, which we've been using throughout this sector. You've got the monitoring of your route, the ability to hold, route direct to waypoints, command headings. You can fly SID stars approaches, RNAV updates as well, using kilos, tunability to use the radio. Boarding and fueling simulation, seamlessly integrated with GSX. The EFB has been updated as well to sync with SimBrief as too. Interactive paper checklist, which I generally don't use, but that is down here. So if I move my head just below there, you've got the checklist you can use here to switch through it. I don't know where the click spots are, but the manual explains where they all are as well, so you can use that as you fly along. Additional cockpit features then, so altitude preset controller, that wasn't with the original one, so you can preset that here. With the ability to select a vertical speed, which I really like. This is going to make it so much easier to fly RNAV approaches and non-precision approaches, having a vertical speed pitch mode. Classic style oxygen regulators. You've got the UNS, but you can still use a GNS GPS, which actually matches real-world F28 still in operation, instead of the weather radar, so they use that GPS. Look at this, it's huge. 2024 compatibility, improved, fixed, improves. Goes on and on. They've updated all the manuals as well. So yeah, loads to look forward to if you decide to get this aircraft. You can see, look, some of the tech now here, the texture's blurry, but this is fine. This is much better. I think this is some of the improvements we're seeing. We'll fly. Obviously, I think the coverage. See, that looks fine for me. I'm happy with that. So there's definitely improvements. Campspot added some nice wing views. Well now I have some pre-saved views, but if we go into the... Here we go. So these are the new pre-saved camera views, so that was awesome. Looking backwards just over the fuselage, both the left and right hand side. Beautiful. How many have you added? That's amazing. That would be loud in real life. We've got a cabin view. Do you have a model toilet, Campspot? Oh, I've only just realised the seat's on a 2-3 configuration. I love this livery. So cool. We've got loads of pre-saved views. There we go. And then I've pre-saved some. These are my pre-saved views from the virtual cockpit, virtual cabin, I should say. I love the smearly fingerprints. LM92, cool, but I can't wait for the Fokker 70 and Fokker 100. Yes, I believe, or I hope, that will be out some point this year. Campus Pilot might be able to give us some more information, but I think that's an aircraft we're all looking forward to flying. Steve, that's normal on this engine. So you can see here, these aren't fans spinning, these are inlet guide vanes. So it's not a bug. Let me show you if I go to the drone cam. See the inlet guide vanes? These don't spin. It just guides air into the engine, and because it's spinning so fast, you can't see it actually spinning behind. But we'll check out when we stopped the turbines, or the fan blades. That would be hot. Beautiful. If only the stock 73 worked as well in 2024. Looks like a great aircraft. This, yeah, it's a good fun one as well. Felix, that's one huge figure there. Yeah, massive thumbprint. Campus Pilot, yep, the Fokker 70-100 are coming this year, the A300 too as well, and you've got the earlier variant of the A300, I think the first launch version as opposed to the INI builds one. Tom, no bypass at all? I don't know. I don't think so. Is this a turbojet engine, guys? HMS Daring 1, yeah, I mean, as we were saying with Sim Update 1, the textures are still a little blurrier, but I'm seeing improvements, but I mean, the performance is awesome. I think next sector will fly between some built-up areas and maybe use third-party scenery, because this obviously isn't really testing the performance. But yeah, we'll fly an old. Well, actually, is there any existing F28 routes we can do? Because this aircraft is still flying in some parts of the world, it'd be quite cool to replicate a real-world sector. I think you've forgotten that you promised to fly the MD-80 in Discord half a year ago or something. Oh, how many aircraft have I got to fly? I mean, put it into perspective. This stream is probably, I've spent maybe 12 hours, I'd say, prepping for. So, you know, practicing aircraft, reinstalling it, thinking of a route. I can't just install the aircraft and stream you guys, otherwise it would be painful to watch. I'm not a fan of that. always have to do at least a couple of goes. Now I've flown it, I could probably just jump in and fly a route. So yeah, going back into the MD-80 would require that level of attention. Probably not too much. So I have flown it a few times, but it's been over a year since we've definitely flown it. So in Argentina, so Linus Andrea del Estado in Argentina. Oh, I've just lost your message, David. Okay, interesting. We might be able to replicate a real-world sector. That would be quite cool. Do we have delivery for it, Cam's pilots? I don't think we have an Alpaca Airways livery as well. Talking about Alpaca Airways, did any of you watch my stream the other day flying into Heathrow and getting spotted by Jerry of Big Jet TV? He is a fan of the channel, guys. Someone shared with me in Discord a link, and he didn't realise that we were doing it. And he was saying, I wish I'd known, otherwise it was pure luck that we spotted it. It was amazing. I'll find the link. He was dead chuffed. Well, I can't find the link now. Well, have a look at Big Jet TV's last stream when he was streaming for his garden, and I think it was all about 20-25 minutes in. He was really chuffed that we were flying in whilst he was flying in. Fly Mortar, he was so amazed that you were streaming. I know, it was cool. I'd never heard of me. Well, I don't think he really had, but I think his nephew who was flying there had watched a lot of my videos. He explained to me, he was like, no way, that's really cool. We'll just keep an eye on our speed. We're slightly above 0.70, but it seems because of a bit more parasitic drag, obviously, as you accelerate. It seems to have stabilised quite nicely at about 0.72, 0.73, which is okay. We'll just accept that. Steve, has detection resolved itself once you reach 30,000 feet? It's a little better, but again, this area doesn't have much more flow or better coverage. You can sort of see if you zoom right in, no, is the answer, especially there, though. So it's still a lot of work to do. Unless you've got a brand new PC with the best graphics card. But I've been informed that is an issue with the sim as opposed to so much my specs. Fernando, yeah, we'll have to look at this sector in Argentina then. Right, approaching the next waypoint, 8 miles. Let's check the active waypoint. So that is inbound to Kilo Kilo Whiskey. Let's have a look at our flight plan. OFP, there we are. How can you look at the raw flight plan? Is it on the charts? I can get it on Navigraph anyway. Not sure. Anyway, let's look on Navigraph. So Kilo Kilo Whiskey, there we are. So we should be airborne for 33 minutes. We took off at 50, didn't we? So 34 minutes airborne. We should have 3 tons of fuel on board. So 1,500 aside. Let's look at the gauges. Look at that. Pretty much over 1,500, that's for sure. It's about 1,600 aside, so 3.2. So we're saving fuel. And I don't know if there's a fuel used indication or indicator on this. Not sure. Cooney says, how is your graphics settings in Sim? LOD. 100 or 150, but I set it to 150 on the test sector. Nothing changed. No, there was no improvement. Textures were still exactly the same. Idjit scratched it, I did, and he said before he knew you, said he landed by a pro, it was rigged. Yeah, paid him off. He did mention us, it's awesome. Steve, I'll leave you alone now, I'm too chatty. No, Steve, you can say and ask as many questions as you like, sir. Right, so top of descent is 100 miles away. What I'm going to do is just nip to the toilet, guys, and as soon as back we'll start setting up for descent. Keenan says you have minimum 200. Try the auto FPS turn off. I'll have to have a play around, guys, but are you saying if there's a way of me improving it, I'm very gladly open to feedback. Seems my PC is just ticking over here at the moment. I don't think it's working hard at all. I mean, you guys will be able to tell me, you know, I'm very computer illiterate, but right now I'll show you my CPU and memory settings. Hold on. There you go. So right now my CPU's at 36 and memory 61. Running a few apps in the background. I guess there's a bit of oomph available. I don't know. Looks like it's ticking over. Everything's running smoothly my side anyway. Right guys, I'll just take a quick 4-minute break. I'll be back at 11:30 Zulu. Thanks for subscribing, Dutch5367. And I hope you're doing very well. I'll see you in about 4 minutes, guys. Cheers. Hello, thanks to the intermission guys. There we are. Somewhere over the Democratic Republic of Congo we are. That's all I can tell you. I can tell you it's a beautiful day though. There we are. Yeah, exactly, Lillipilot. This area is not great for ortho anyway, so I think we need to go somewhere, some nice terrain, some mountains, and see what's what. Not doing it much justice. Right then, so top of descent, 75 miles away. Let's start talking about how we're going to manage this approach into Kinshasa, the capital of the Democratic Republic of Congo. We've got some freeway scenery for this as well. Looks really nice. So this is the arrival. It's a simple RNAV arrival via MPET to Ariso. Ariso at or above 5,000 feet. So this top of descent point is, I think, giving us a CDA, or is it going to put us exactly at 5,000 feet? Seeing there's a little up arrow, I'm not 100% sure. So I don't know if you can click any of this. No, I can't see any of it. But yeah, there's our routing. We're inbound to Vorvi as we speak, and then it'll be Orvip MPET. From MPET we go to Russo, and that's the RNAV star completed. High terrain, not too much. You've got 4,300 feet. I'm not sure of the geopolitical situation with the Republic of Congo and Democratic Republic of Congo. I don't want to cause any upset, so I don't want to talk about it. But I know this part of the world's had some awful, horrific situations in the last 50 years. But here we are. We're in the Democratic Republic of Congo. From Ariso, then, we've got a transition, which is in the FMC already, to go direct to Alpha Charlie 24 Charlie 1. So I'm going to aim to be at 5,000 feet at Ariso. We're going to step down to 2,800 feet, which will then maintain. I'm not worried about CDAs in this aircraft. And then from there, 2,800 feet, we'll intercept final approach fix of 5.7 DME, which is this waypoint here, identified by Foxtrot India 24 X-ray. Down to the runway 24 point at the elevation of 1,000, well, runway threshold height, I guess that is 1,047 feet. It says 998. That's great for us. No terrain issues. 4,500 feet all the way around. ILS frequencies we won't tune yet because we've got the Kinshasa VOR active, which we'll use as backup. When we get closer, we'll set those frequencies. But the course I can set now 239 degrees. So preset 239 and 239. Currently the HSI is slave to nav 1, the autopilot. Heading bug will update later. Minimums then, it's based off ILS 1218, so 220 feet above the ground. Now, I don't know if there's a way... Oh, I've tested the radio altimeter. Unfortunately, due to the terrain on the threshold, if I set the 220 feet here, you get multiple minimums call-outs, and that's nothing wrong with the aircraft. It's just there's a lot of hills on this approach and terrain, but the altitude is the main point. It's 1,218 feet. That's what we're going to set. So yeah, straight in off the ILS. Now, how on earth, excuse my voice crack there, how on earth do I set on the ADF 340? I have no clue. I tried doing this yesterday and I could not do it. Do I set this to sort of between 19 and 40 and then 340 here? I think I've set it. Is that it? And then I'll put that to ADF, I guess. I don't know. We've got an ADF tuned, and I'll switch. I'll leave this on the VR anyway. So we might pass the OK identifier. Wait, where's my soundboard? I could do something here. No, I can't find it. Nah, I'll find it later. Okay. And then we'll go down to the runway. Runway length then, 3 degree ILS. Missed approach, climb track to 3,000 feet, left turn 5,000 feet to hold it back ab. Is that coded in the UNS? No, there's no missed approach coded, so we'll have to type it in manually, I guess, if we go missed. You'll need tooltips for manual tuning, or use the UNS tune cams pilot. That's what I'll need to do then. So nav tune ADF. Ah, what was the frequency? Have I just tuned that to absolute perfection with my skills? I have. Pure luck. 340. Thanks, Cabs Pilot, for the heads up. Now, to identify or have the NDB working, do I just have to select that to ADF? Just PFO. I think we're all set there. Anyway, runway length. I've got no accurate performance calculator for landing, I don't think. Unless there is one for SimBrief. I'll have a look in a second. But look, it's a long runway, 4,000 metres. I think we'll be alright, guys. This is a short takeoff and landing aircraft. We'll plan to vacate at Bravo or Charlie, and we'll try not to use wheel brakes. We'll use all the aerodynamic braking as much as possible. Right, I think we're all set up, guys. We'll go back to VNAV. Top of descent is 38 miles away. So you've got the target VS 2.5. If we start descending now, we need to descend at 1,600 feet per minute to make the restriction. And then use the audio selector for our cams pilot. Thanks for spending your Sunday morning with me, buddy. I really appreciate it. Use the audio selector. So I've tuned that. Is that this? ADF? I just select it in the 7.3, then turn on the ADF on the EFIS pedal. Great. Hi James French, evening all. One of my favourite manufacturers. No Fokker F28, but heaps of 50, 70s, 100s still operating in Australia. Very cool. So I think when the Fokker 70 or 100 comes out, we'll have to go to Australia. There we are. We just start picking up DME from the VOR at Kinshasa. It's the Kinshasa VOR, Kilo Sierra Alpha. It's probably a way of identifying the nav manually. DME test. Probably be down here, wouldn't it, somewhere? Oh, which one's off or on, I don't know. Nav 1? I really don't know. I'm guessing push down to have it working. Pull up for off. Boom mask, so if you've got the oxygen mask on, you'd use mask. You could probably go around and land and still be over the runway, yeah, easily. Easily. So not long till top of descent, guys. We've had a somewhat flawless sector so far. Very happy with how it's progressed. Full load of passengers, remember. In this part of the world. Shame it's a bit blurry, but about to cross a river there. Let's do some geography, guys. Oh, I can hear the nav aid, Dan. Can you hear that? It's very quiet. We're about to cross the Wamba River, which is connected to the Congo River, which is connected to the Kasai, which is connected to the... God, look at this one here, right on the border. The Congo. Amazing. Oh, that is a river and a half. Amazing. Every day's a learning day. 18 miles till top of descent, and I did hear, albeit very quietly, the nav aid. So let's pull that up. How to tempt fate, use a word like flawless. I'll have to see, Steve, how the flight progresses. Cheers, Flying Walnut. Once again, very generous. Gifted member coming in. Thank you indeed. Neil Griffiths, welcome aboard, buddy. You're now a member on behalf of Flying Walnut. Sasha, hope you're doing well, madam. Thank you for your support as well as a member too. Right, so, interesting thing about this aircraft on approach. I read it in the manual. When you fly the approach, I'll try and find the reference. It's not in the tutorial, but it's in the sort of detailed sections here. Talks about using speed brake whilst keeping the HP thrust above 80%. It says in descent you don't need to worry about it, but in the final approach it's preferable to use this mode. RPM settings. Oh, it's and Scratch It, you've just gifted 5 members. Oh my days. Thank you very much, buddy. Not only for coming in during the beginning of the stream to say hello. Good morning. You've now gifted 5 members. So welcome aboard Mark Shipman, Junie Lard, HT Ob, David Stoker and Fire Mao. All new members of the channel. Thank you very much, buddy. That's going to go off for a while. Yeah, I can't find this. Checklists, handling notes, descent. Here we are. Look at this. So whenever the aircraft levels off, initially set 85%, adjust the throttles as required. Maintain a minimum of 80% RPM until landing is assured. So, as opposed to reducing thrust below 80% HP, use the speed brake to control speed with thrust on. It's something we'd never do in the 7.3 or a modern turbofan engine aircraft, but something you want to do here as well. Oh my days. Guys. I've just seen more gifted members coming in. Just 11 off the bat. Simbear, thank you very much. Your generosity once again is off the scale. Gary Robert Shaw Gaming, Ben Peter Smith, ATK Love, all gifted members, and Dennis Colhoun as well. Thank you very much indeed. Right, we've just passed top of descent, 2,500 feet target. So what we'll do is set a lower altitude. Doesn't matter if we pass top of descent slightly. There's got so much drag in this thing, and that gigantic speed brake could easily recapture the profile. Oh, that's tinging off. So Ariso will set 5,000 feet to keep safe. So 5,000 feet is set. Still going off. I think that's the last one. Thank you. 2,500 will pre-select. Just about here. Vertical speed on. There we are. Now that is a little bit aggressive. That could be fine-tuned by just flight. It went to 0 to 2.5 in about 2 seconds. You'd be floating in your seat, and I'll just reduce a bit of thrust so we don't exceed MMO. Try to limit it to... I think in descent it doesn't matter what you set it to, and there's you get a little horn to warn you that you're too low. I think for the gear. I think it's the gear warning. There we are. We've started our descent. Wow, loads of gifted members in there. That's crazy. Thank you very much indeed. Yeah, Steve, and we're nearly at 100,000 subscribers. Very slow growth. I don't know what to do to get more. To be fair, it's not a priority at the moment. I am going to be becoming a dad in the next month or 2 or 3 or 4. I'm not giving any more information away. That is the priority in my life right now. And I do wish to... If we get to 100,000 subs this year, though, it would be great. Once I've got a lot of paternity leave coming up, so I'll be around with baby screaming in the background. Beautiful daughter. Oh, I'm not ready. Well, I am ready, but not ready. You're never ready, are you? Are you, fathers in chat? Right, set a little bit more on the vertical speed. Remember, the UNS will show you what you want to be doing. So 2650, probably now, to make my restrictions. I was a bit late descending, so that's about 3,000 feet. And what I'm going to do is... Ah, yeah, so one thing, I'm going to select full flaps. Look at that, VREF, 119. Oh my goodness me, I've got more dings coming in here. Mark, what have I missed here? Is that more gifted members coming in? Itch it and scratch it! It's done it again! Another 5 gifted members, oh days. Right, flap 42, 26 tons, that's updated the speed. And it updates your bug speed now, so I'm just going to set that to initial descent. We're doing 300 knots here, that's fine. We'll use the speed. Crikey. Itch it, scratch it once again. We've got Matt Surley, Thomas Markinson, Etzo, Vega 13, Phil T all joining as members as well. Thank you very much. Itch it, scratch it. Very kind. Very kind. Right, auto on so we don't bust the altitude. If someone in chat could get the weather for Kinshasa so we could set the QNH now as well, that'd be greatly appreciated. Oof, textures aren't great here. Thanks for subscribing. Oh, Wayne Morgan, welcome aboard, buddy. Kazzy, you'll be ready, no worries. Congratulations, Captain, thank you. Just remember that baby doesn't come with a manual, so you can only do your best, and I reckon you'll make a great dad. Ah, thanks, Steve. I hope so. Now, look at this. Ice detected. This system automatically, in auto, turns on engine anti-ice, so you can see that bleed air is going to the, I presume bleed air, to the engine cowling. Look at this. Automatic engine anti-icing. Amazing. Thanks, Domino Mosina. So we've got the weather. Surface winds 160 at 6 knots, so it's just about favouring runway 24. 6,000 metres, so a bit hazy. Scattered cloud. QNH is 1013. Oh, okay, so we had the right QNH down in Kananga with no METAR. Very good. Domino Mosina. So the icing system of the F28 is better than the 737 MAX. Well, yeah, we have to turn it on manually after seeing ice build up on the window. This is automatic. Cam's pilot, I'm pushing my eldest daughter on her swing, rocking my baby daughter to sleep and watching your stream. It's great fun. Amazing, Cam's pilot. Well, we've got a little girl due. I'm being very coy here. No names. I don't wish to say we've got a name, but I don't wish to say the exact date of birth, just in case anything happens, you know. And one thing that shocked me is going through this journey with my fiance Jo is the amount of oh god, what's the word? Oh, I'm completely lost. 1 in 4. Oh, I've gone blank with what it's called. You'll tell me in chat. Oh, how have I forgotten that name? Miscarriage. Oh, how did I forget that word? The amount of miscarriages that can happen. 1 in 4 people that have a baby have a miscarriage. It's an incredible statistic, one that I was unaware of. Shocking, really. So yeah, you know, Joe's had a reasonably normal pregnancy so far. So yeah, you know, we just want baby to be arrived safely, Joe to be safe, and thankfully in this day and age, it's reasonably straightforward. But yeah, let's wish her all the best. Yeah, I'm not saying any more. But when paternity leave starts, I'll have some time off. Right, so right now we're in vertical speed pitch mode. Our target VS is showing 2350, so now we can shallow it off a little bit. So we'll set about 2,500. I'd rather get lower first. This is great. I love this addition of the ability to select vertical speed. And that we're doing 300 knots in the descent. We'll start thinking about reducing that to 250. So I'll bug 250, but just let the aircraft slow down naturally. Stephen, it's one of the most ridiculously hidden stats. Removing this stigma around miscarriage still needs some work. Absolutely. And I was very naive. I bought this fantastic book, which is basically the dad's guide through your partner's pregnancy and what to do for the baby and what to do for her. And I was really, really interested about it. And, you know, I want to be as prepared as possible. So don't laugh. I was watching videos on how to change nappies. Everyone says you'll be fine. I think once you've done it a dozen times, you're alright. But it's just that initial stress. Oh dear. Perfect. I think those miscarriage numbers are mostly from the first trimester. Yeah, Tom, I think the first trimester up to 12 weeks is just, you just don't know, do you? I think that it's later on, it's more likely to be normal. Impact to dads has forgotten first-hand experience of hitching hard, but often not spoken about. Yeah, I think I've read as much as I can, be ready, as ready as I can be as well. But yeah, I think we'll be good. And thank you so much for all the input from many dads there in chat. It's been really helpful from both members and regular subscribers. Anyway, right now we've got to land this tin can. We're really bombing in here. So I'm going to start bringing the speed now. We're speed brake to 250 knots on the lift dumper. So let's extend that, get the speed brake arm. Watch the rate of deceleration. Well, actually, you can see, look at the ground speed here, slowing down in the top right. And there is the lift dumper out. And that will slowly extend automatically as the airspeed reduces. It automatically limits the angle based off your airspeed, so they don't, I guess, get damaged. Completely automated. And that has brought us straight back to 250 knots. Amazing. Slowly stow it. Post-cruise checks are only 9,000 feet above the ground here. It's going to get very busy now. All the lights on. They're extending. Got a bit of thrust up, 250 knots. Maybe take a little bit more thrust off. 5,000 feet. What's our target VS now? 2,500 feet. It's only 1,500, but I'm going to level off nice and early, guys. Don't worry about CDAs. Don't want to try and drag it in. Again, the textures, they're alright. I think they've improved, but still, I'd like to see much improvements. Let's wait until Sim Update 2. Sim Ben, love it. Prepare for the inevitable Poon armies. I haven't got enough warnings about that. 10 times a day, isn't it, to start? Brilliant. Oh, right, now this is, I've got to be careful. Look at my speed. That's really hard in this aircraft to monitor the speed. Look, I went a little bit above 250 there, so I'm going to bug about 210. Slow right down. We're doing well. Coming into Iruso, we've got the FMC to monitor as well down here. I think the best page is probably now the flight. No, it's nav. Oh yeah, that's not good, is it? Look at that. That's a shame. That looks like not discounting the aircraft. Don't forget this aircraft is fully available for Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 whilst we wait patiently for improvements. I think when I get close it will load in, but come on. That looks horrific. One to go. So I'll just reduce our auto on so it will level off. And I'll slowly start stowing that speed brake. About 210 knots, take a bit more thrust off. On approach though it recommends minimum 80%. It's a recommendation. Yeah, I think I might have to keep the speed brake out here until I level off. This is Sim Update 1, guys, I'm afraid. Sim Update 1. Ah well. So you can see why it's 5,000 feet. I think it could be region specific, Stephen. Yeah, I think that doesn't help. So the aircraft's thinking about levelling off at 5,000 feet. Approaching Ariso. After Ariso, we can step down to 3,500 feet. But yeah, look, we'll try flying in. I mean, you can see it's sort of half loading in, but again, this region probably doesn't have the best ortho. Yes, I have 1,000 megabyte internet. No issues with that. So get that speed brake out again. Do that nice and smoothly in real life, otherwise you'll feel it. Where's the speed restrictions for the flaps? So we've got to be below 200 knots from flap 6 to 25. So you know what, I'll bug 180 now. So 180 knots on base leg. 2.7 miles until Ariso. So I'll preset 3,500 feet. So out hold is on. 3,000. Oh no, don't set that. 3,500 feet set. 1 mile to go. VS on. So it's now in vertical speed and auto level off. So down to 3,500 feet we go. Get that speed brake out to maintain 180 knots. Oh, nice steady VS now.
25.
We're on base leg. So next turn will be to turn final. We need to now set the ILS frequency, which is 1103. Okay, ILS is tuned. We've got idents, we've got DME as well. Great. And after 3,500 feet, we can step down to 2,800 feet. We'll let the aircraft turn base, and then we'll have to turn off. Actually, you know what? I'll preset the heading. Where's the heading select? So we're leveling off. Slowly stone speed brake. And we'll take flaps. So as soon as it starts turning automatically in GPS to turn final, I'll go heading select, and then we'll arm go off GPS, and then we'll arm Vorlock. Take another natural flop. So I've got to, again, I'm using thrust with speed brake because I don't want to get the thrust below 80. There we are, turning final. So we're going to go heading select, conventional nav, and then beam to arm the localizer. Again, I've got thrust with speed brake. I know it's incredibly inefficient, but this is the best way of operating the aircraft. You don't want that thrust to go below 80%, according to the manual. So you control the speed with speed brake. Localizer alive. Is that localizer capture? Or is it armed? Ooh, I'm not sure. Where are we going? Where are we going? Are we still in heading? No, we're on beam. I think we're on the localizer. Arm glide. That's the horn. Oh, come on, plane. Where are we going? Where are we going? There we are. Localizer glide slope capture. Speed brake's extended. We're at flap 18. And I've set the power to no less than 80%. And now we're going to bug our final approach speed, which I've now set. We're at 7 miles. Need a bit more speed off here. So I'm going to drop the gear now to stop the aeroplane from... Because it's really hard to manage the speed with the thrust. Come on, start slowing down. Speed brake's fully out now. I'll go outside so you can't hear the horn. I find it really hard to manage the energy. Still got the gear warning horn going off because my thrust is too low. Probably a bit more. There we are. Oh, so it's telling me to go flaps 25. Thank you, Just Flight. So landing checklist, flaps are extending. We're going to go full flap. Speed brake is out to maintain the speed. Lower thrust settings are typically fine below 10,000. I think in your manual somewhere it says on approach try to avoid the thrust going below 80%. Right, we'll arm the lift dumpers. Or spoilers. We've got full flap. And we've got our final approach speed as well. Yeah, it's a slow gear extension. Alright, localizer glide slope capture fully established for DME. Alright, so I'm going to try to adjust thrust. Oh no, I want to keep it around 80, so I'm just going to use speed brake to control speed here. Alright, clear to land, checklist complete. Are you ready, guys? Wish me luck. Disconnecting autopilots, which is down here. Off my aeroplane. So again, I'm going to manipulate the speed brake. There is a replay tool on this I can actually use, isn't it? But I can never get it to work or turn back on. So record. There we are. So our recording. I'll leave that minimised up here. I'll hide it so you can't see it. Perfect.
Cam crew, please take your
So
648.
3 whites. Oh, under engines at the back. What's the thrust pitch couple like? Oh gosh, I wasn't concentrating then, getting a bit high. Ooh, I'm naturally taking thrust off. No, keep the thrust up.
Cabin is secured.
That's good to know, thank you. Speed brake's coming, vertical path's coming back. So I've got the speed brake out still. That is normal for this aircraft. I've seen a video online of an aircraft of this landing with the speed brake extended. So again, a little bit
500.
high, but the vertical path is coming back. Just leave it around 1,000 feet per minute. Here comes the glide slope. Radio altimeter is going to sound a bit funky because of the terrain. There we are, 2 res 2 wides, reset pedal foot. Here we go.
Minimums.
Continue.
Minimums.
It flies beautifully. I'm really impressed with the handling of it. Oh, where's the runway going? Come back.
50, 40, 30, 20,
I think I meant to. I've landed like a 7.3. Sorry, guys.
10.
They're a bit firm. Right, we're down. So, we'll use no wheel brakes. There's no reversers. There's 80 knots. I've not even touched... Animals! Animals! I love it! No, don't run onto the runway. That's amazing. I love it. Great. We'll take this next level. I've not even touched the brakes. So here's some wheel brakes. I love that. I loved it. Fauna! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the capital of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Kinshasa. What an aeroplane. Love this add-on. Loved it. Unfortunately, no alpacas. Right, lift dumpers are in. Ah, we can disarm that. Flaps coming up. Oh, look where I'm going. It's a very simple apron. This is some freeware scenery. Information about it is in the video description below. Very easy to install. You can just drop it into your community folder. But here we are. We'll take the next left and we'll park in front of the terminal. Actually, yes, we'll go left here. How did I do, Cam's pilot, out of 10? Be brutally honest. I landed safely, that's the main thing, but it's a tricky aircraft to manage. Tricky aircraft, but I can't wait to fly this on VATSIM in a busy event. Right, taxi inflow then, after we've landed. We can... Oh, let me just find my bit in the manual to do it all as properly as possible. So, we have landed, completed, ILS approach. So, lift dumpers are in. Turn off the retracts and taxi light. We'll park right in front of the terminal. So, landing lights off. We'll leave the taxi lights on. Strobes can come off. There we are. Start the APU. Main switch to on. Wait. So when you put that to on, you get the APU inlet door open. There it is. 7.5 out of 10, Vincent. Brutal. APU door should be open. Flight directors can come off. Altitude hold can come off. APU now to start. There we are. APU starting. Continue taxiing. We'll park in front of the stand there. Set their HB value. Levers to shut. After we shut the engines down, weather radar can come off, which I didn't use. It's been pointing up into the sky all day. I think we're pretty much done. Beautiful, fantastic add-on. Really, it's something different, and it's got that. Oh, you've got that lateral navigation. In the UNS now, so you can take this and fly modern approaches, RNAV approaches as well. We obviously kept it a little bit simpler with the ILS today. But yeah, it was really nice to try out. Oh yeah, you've got the Just Flight taxiing music as well. Fly open the door. I'll take this. There's several ways you can park here. You've got stand straight in, but also angled stands as well. This music. Right, taxiing in. Right, turn off the anti-ice system as well. Beautiful. Bring it to a stop just there. Taxiing is much better in this aeroplane than some other add-ons. Really, really nice. Right, parking brake. Over here we can set. APU's on, so I just need to put that. What do I do again? I can't remember. Set the gentry switch to on. There we are. So the APU's taken the load. We can now shut down the engines. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Kinshasa.
Having free doors.
Beautiful. That's a fantastic sound as well. Now with 3 music tracks at Cam's Pilot. That's fantastic. And you can hear the engine spooling down there as well. Superb. Let's go drone cam safari. Yes, I love the fact that we had was it wildebeest or something there. I don't know. I'm not very good at spotting animals. Henry, you had a moose on the runway the other day while landing in Copenhagen. Brilliant. What was the landing rate? I can't remember. It was well, I can't see it. See, it's on an overlay, but I think it was all right. I think I landed it like a 7.3. I think you flare a bit higher in this. I'm not so sure. Or do you cut the power a bit higher? I need to look at the guidance. But yeah, I'm hardwired into flying the 7.3. Don't forget. But yeah, great freeware scenery. Come check it out. This is the capital of Democratic Republic of Congo. This airport serves 18 million people. Very small. But yes, you can see the. Oh my goodness me! Now, spotters, what is that? I don't know. Oh, it's stuck on the runway, and this is a baby one. Is Buffalo. Thanks, guys. Buffalo here in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Should be looking at this amazing add-on, not the various animals around. Don't feed the animals. Yeah, when I took off the other day, I had in Kananga there were animals. They weren't buffalo though. I didn't have my animal spotting chart out. Right, oh yeah, hold on, GSX. Take my passengers off, please. There we are. And they'll be taken away on buses. We'll try the replay tool afterwards. But if you have any questions about the F28, I'll do my best to answer. We are going to fly this one more time before release next week, either on Monday or Tuesday. No return sector. I do have to go to work in about 3 hours. A lovely, easy sim session. That's why I'm streaming this morning.
Passengers bus is coming.
JPF. Oh yeah, the nose light's still on. Thank you. Oh god, too much music. My music and Just Flight's music. Oh, clash. Ah, that's better. Right. Taxi light, yes, you're quite right, that should be off. Retract. Oh, I'll leave it out. You can see it's still there, look, that little thing hanging out. Poof, work, haha, fair enough, mate. Hope work goes well. Yeah, I've got a lovely easy session in the sim today, so that's what I'm sort of doing both. David said, look on the map at the airport across the Congo River. 737 flights to Brazzaville are sometimes flown VFR. Oh, really? Do you sort of fly across the river then? Could be a fun, very fun short sector. Oh, crikey, so from there to there in a 7.3. My goodness me. Well, that's something we can replicate probably for a bit of fun. Just turn the music down here. Brilliant. Shame there isn't a Hawker Siddeley Trident with 3 of those RR Spey engines. Are they what they are? Rolls-Royce Spey engines? Not so sure, but yeah, hopefully someone will make a Trident one day. Didn't spot any giraffes though. Make Jerry proud. Hopefully he was watching. Give me some feedback. Unfortunately, 2024 requires a NASA PC to have great visuals and performance. We'll see if the sim gets more optimised. I mean, I don't have a bad spec PC, do I? Let's hope there's improvements in the future. But, you know, this part of the world isn't, well... there isn't the best Ortho 4XP for it, or not Ortho, you know what I mean. Satellite imagery. We'll probably fly in Argentina. We'll fancy replicating this real-world sector in the future. On our next stream, I'll have a look. But yeah, it was a fun stream. Once again, thank you very much to Just Flight for giving me early access once again to another one of their products. If you are interested in the aircraft, you can just head to Google, type in Just Flight Fokker F28 for more information. It is available next week. If you've got the aircraft already, this is a free update, but they are doing a launch promotion where there's 28% off, so I think the price is around £50–55, so it's a good discount on the aircraft if you're interested. Again, there's dedicated tutorials from Just Flight on this aircraft. I'd highly recommend you look at those if you want to learn to fly the aircraft exactly as you should, as opposed to me trying my best to fly. But I can get you from A to B, give you some tips along the way. But hopefully, I hope some of you will use my videos when preparing the aircraft. I don't know, but yeah, it was good fun indeed. So yeah, Monday or Tuesday, possibly Wednesday. One of those days we'll look at that aircraft again. Maybe 2 sectors, we'll see, but it'll be good to take it on too. Anyway, we'll wrap things up today. Actually, you know what? Wait until GSX to finish. I think it's only 65 passengers, so it won't take long as they get on the bus. So cool, this feature. Although they do seem to be levitating down the stairs. Oh my god, that guy's going down the handrails. So maybe a bit of tweaking from GSX to fix that as well. Cam's Pilot, thank you so much for popping in as well. Martin from Just Flight is one of the devs. He often pops in during the streams and gives invaluable input to me. So once again, thank you so much. Learned a little bit more about this aircraft as well, and hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday with your daughter. Put your phone down now and enjoy this beautiful weather we're experiencing in the UK at the moment. GSX isn't designed for the air stairs with jetway option that the F28 has. That may be why they're slightly levitating, but it's always funny watching the animation. Right then, replay, yes. Let's see if we can get this replay tool to work. I've had mixed results with it in the past, so we'll turn off... oh, is New Sky compatible with Microsoft Flight Sim 2024? I'm not 100% sure. Now, I closed it, so if I press this... Yeah, it does this. How do I maximise this again? If I press that, bye-bye to all of you, but I've lost the window as well. It's just weird. How do you maximise it? If I press... Is it broken? It did this before. Does anyone else know how to maximise the flight recorder so I can actually watch the replay? It's still a buggy mess, this 2024. I think 2020... Don't forget this aircraft's available for 2020 as well. Yeah, I can't actually do the replay because if you minimise it, yeah, it's lost. So it's a bug I've found in Microsoft Flight Sim. It's a real pain. Okay. Another bug. Anyway, yeah, we tried Sim Update 1. Performance is amazing. Let's just see if we can try something on the next update with some decent airports as well. But the aircraft itself was flawless. So, unfortunately, no replay, guys. So we'll sign out here. As ever, once again, thank you to the generosity shown today. There were a number of gifted members who joined. So thank you to everyone that did gift members. I've got a list here. I can see who was so generous. It was... Come on, load up, please. Itch It and Scratch It, 10 gifted members. Sasha, thank you for your gifted membership. Simbear as well. That was very generous. John Wadley for telling me I was muted at the start. Thank you very much indeed. To all the members, thank you so much for your continued support. Thank you to Just Flight once again for giving me early access. We'll provide a link in a pinned comment to the product so you can find out more information. But check out Just Flight's aircraft there. Some really fantastic add-ons. They've really produced some fantastic aircraft for Microsoft Flight Simulator. And to all the regular viewers and subscribers, thank you very much for tuning in. If you're just watching casually, don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with the latest content and turn on the bell notification to be notified when I publish a stream. Guys, it's a weekend. Go and enjoy yourselves. If you're in the UK, enjoy this lovely weather, and I'll see you all again very soon. Cheerio!